Hi, good day everyone. So today we will be doing January number 8, 2024. Alright, so if you look at this question, that's a section number 8 is a section 2 question, which is algebra, relations and functions and graphs. Alright, so let's read. The diagram below shows the graphs of two functions on the same PF axis. The line G, this is line G, and line H are perpendicular. As soon as you hear perpendicular or two lines are perpendicular, you would, well, you're supposed to, not you would, you are supposed to think two lines are perpendicular. That means that their gradients, when you multiply their gradients, it's supposed to be equal to -1. Alright, that is the first thing you're supposed to be thinking. So when they say perpendicular, right, G and H are perpendicular, you're supposed to think the gradient, that's the M of G, that's the gradient of G, multiplied by the gradient of H is equals to -1. Right? That's what you get from this statement here. Now, if we look at this here, we see f of x, which is also known as y, and x. Alright? Now, we know on your x-axis, y is equal to 0, and on your y-axis, x is equals to 0. So this point right here, let's just put it in a different color. This point right here, they told you that x is equals to 4. That means that coordinate is 4, 0. Why 4, 0? Because again, on your x-axis, y is equal to 0. So that means this would be, this coordinate is 4, 4, 0. Alright? This coordinate here is on your y-axis. Again, x is equals to 0. So that means that this coordinate here, alright, this coordinate right here is equal to, oh, this is too thick, is equals to 0, x is equals to 0, and y is equal to 3. Right? Right. So this would be 0, 3. Right? That's the coordinate for this. And while this one's similar to the blue point there, we know that if it is on your x-axis, y is equals to 0. So this coordinate right here would be -6, 0. Alright. So now that we have, from our diagram, we have listed out what you could find and what you can deduce from this reading question. Determine part 1, equation that represents the line G. Now, we know an equation of a line is equals to y is equal to mx plus c. Or you could have used y minus y1 is equal to m by x minus x1. Whichever method you want to use, that is what you're going to use. So they said line G. So if we know anything about line G, that is this line here, we have two coordinates, 0, 3, and -6, 0. Right? What do we know about y is equals to mx plus c? M is equal to your gradient and c is equal to your y-intercept. Y. Now, what do you mean about your intercept? Your y-intercept is where your line intersects your, right, is where your line crosses your y-axis. And we can see from the equation above that your C, which is your y-intercept, where does it cross your y-axis? At 0, 3. So my y-axis, y is equal to line G intersects your y-axis at, let me just use this. So C is equal to 3. Right? So again, once you know where the coordinates at which the line intersects your y-axis, right, that would be your C. That would be C. Right? So that is one way, and then I'll show you the next way to find it out. Right? Now your gradient, we have to remember the formula for gradient. What is the formula for gradient? Gradient is equals to y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. So when you're finding a gradient, you need two coordinates. We already have two coordinates, the green dot and the red dot, which is 0, 3, right, and minus 6, 0. When you have two coordinates, you're going to choose one as group 1 and the next one as group 2. I'm going to choose 0, 3 as group 1. So this is x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. Right, so let's just put it in the formula. My gradient is equal to y2, which is 0 minus 3 all over minus 6 minus 0, which is minus 3 over minus 6, which is 1 over 2. That's a half. So my gradient is equals to a half. So knowing this here, which is equals to a half, you can say y is equals to half x plus c. Plus 3, sorry. Let's just erase that. Plus 3. Now, if you, let's just say you forgot that you see is your y-intercept, what you can say is I'm gonna solve it this way. I don't know what C is, so I can say I'm gonna choose a coordinate and your gradient. Let's choose 0 and 3, and my gradient m is equal to a half. You can say that, put it in this form here. That is, this is x and this is y, right? So 3 is equals to half by x, which is 0, plus c. So that is 3 is equals to 0 plus c. So we can see c is equals to 3, right? Or that is if you're using the formula, this formula here, the equation of a line. However, if you want to use this one here, again, you still need your gradient. You'll have y minus, what is y1? That is 3. That's the coordinate. The y1 and x1 is your coordinates, right? Y minus 3 is equals to half by x minus 0. Right? So that's y minus 3 is equals to half x minus 0. You carry across minus 3 because you want it in the form y is equal to mx plus c. So y is equals to half x plus 3. So that would be my equation of my line. That is the two ways in which you can find the equation of my line, or equation of the line. Now, if we look at this, they said the equation that represents line H. Now, because again they said that the lines G and H are perpendicular, you know that to find the equation of a line again is y is equals to mx plus c. We have a coordinate on H, or line H I should say, which is 4, 0. We don't know any more coordinates. 4 equal to 4, 0. So there's no way that I can use my coordinates to find my gradient. However, I can say that let the m, that's gradient, of line G be equal to m1, and let m, which stands for gradient, of line H be equals to m2. So I can say m1 multiplied by m2 is equals to -1. Why? Because line G and line H are perpendicular. Right? We know that the gradient of line G, which is above here, is a half. Right? So what we could say is let's put it in, that's a half multiplied by m2 is equals to -1. So I can easily find out m2. m2 would be -1 divided by half, which is equals to -2. So my gradient of line H is equals to -2. Right? And I have my coordinates. I don't know what is my y-intercept. So again, there are two ways that you can do this. My gradient is equal to -2. And the coordinates on H is equals to 4, 0. So I can say y is equals to mx plus c, which is y is xy. This is 0 is equals to -2 by 4 plus c. So that is 0 is equals to -8 plus c. So c is equals to +8. Right? So again, now I know what is c. Right? So therefore, it would be y is equals to 4, no, -2. I don't know why I said 4. The gradient, which is m, -2x plus 8. Right? Or if you want to use this equation, y minus y1 is equals to m by x minus x1. y1 and x1 are the coordinates given. So it would be y minus 0 is equals to m, which is -2 by x minus 4. That is y minus 0 is equals to -2x plus 8. If I carry across minus 0 into plus 0, so I see that y is equals to -2 plus 8, and that would be my answer. Right? So now I know my equation of my line for line H. Now they said the coordinates of P. What is P? P is when these two intersect. So what you're going to do is you're going to use your two equations. So y is equals to -2x plus 8, and the next one is y is equals to half x. What was the equation? Plus 3. Alright, this is equation 1, and this is equation 2. What you're going to do is you're going to let them be equal, because at point P is when equation 1 and equation 2, or the equation of the line G and the equation of the line H, are the same. Alright, so you're going to say let 1 equal to equation 2. So you're going to say 9 minus 2x plus 8 is equals to half x plus 3. You're going to make x the subject, so you're going to say that I'm going to carry this across on the side, and you're going to carry this 3 on the side. So you're going to have 8 minus 3 is equal to a half x plus 2x. So that is 8 minus 3 is 5 is equal to 2.5x. You want to know what is x, so you're going to carry across that 2.5. So x would be equal to 2 2s are 5. So that is 5 divided by 2 2s are 5, 5 over 2. 5 over 2 is 2.5, right? So that is x is equals to 5 over 1 multiplied by 2 over 5. Cross that, cross that. So x is equals to 2. And then you're going to substitute x is equals to 2 in whichever equation you want. 1, 2, whichever one you want. I'm going to choose equation 1. So that is y is equals to minus 2 by 2 plus 8. So y is equals to minus 4 plus 8. So y is equals to 4. Therefore, coordinates P is going to be positive 2, 4. And that is how you would get your answer for coordinates P. Right? Even if you substitute y, x is equals to 2 in equation 2, you're still going to get 4. Because a half by x, which is a half by 2, is 1. And 1 plus 3 is 4. So you're still getting 4. Y is equals to 4. Right, so this one, write 4x squared minus 24x plus 31 in the form of a open bracket x plus 8 squared plus k. As soon as you see this, right, let's just highlight it. As soon as you see this, you're supposed to think completing the square. So there are 2 ways to complete your square, and I'm going to do the 2 ways. Right, method 1. The first thing you do is that you bracket out your variables. What is your variables? That is the one that has x. So you're going to have 4x squared minus 24x plus 31. You see, I only bracket off the ones that has x. Then I'm going to factorize out coefficient of x squared. Right? Not factorize the bracket, factorize out your coefficient of x squared. So I'm going to factorize out 4. So it's going to be 4 open bracket. 4 by what will give you 4x squared? 4 by x squared. And 4 multiplied by what would give you 24? That is 6. 6 fours are 24. So it would be minus 6x close bracket plus 31. Right? That's the next step. Your next step after this is pay attention to the step 4 open bracket. No, let's put square bracket. Square x squared minus 6x, and this is the part you are going to add a half open bracket, a half the coefficient of x. What is the coefficient of x? Minus 6. So a half multiplied by minus 6 close bracket squared, then you're going to close the bracket plus 31. Alright, that would be 4 open bracket x squared, let's put the square bracket, minus 6x, a half by minus 6 is 3, minus 3, minus 3, I like to do this, I like to put it, leave it as in the squared form, right, close bracket, plus 31, but now we have added this 3x squared, but not just 3x squared. We have added x squared to the equation, right? So because we have added it, we are now going to subtract so we could get back this here. But remember, we're multiplying 4 by everything in the bracket. So it is, you're going to minus 4 open bracket 3 squared. So now I'm going to have 4. I'm going to factorize my square bracket, right? When you're factorizing your square bracket, the reason why you did a half multiply by 6 square it is to make this a perfect square, where it'll be x, because it's minus here, minus 3. So I'm finding the square root of the 2 squared terms. That's the square root of x squared is x, and the square root of 3 squared is 3. Alright? And I'm going to square it here. And I'm going to solve this. You can use a calculator to solve this. 31 minus 4 open bracket 3 squared, or 3 by, which is equal to minus 5. So I have now, this is the form of a open bracket x plus h squared plus k. So we can see that a is 4, h is minus 3, and k is minus 5. This is method 1. Method 2 is you are equating your coefficients. So you're going to equate 4x squared minus 24x plus 31 with this part here that I highlighted. You're going to remove the brackets, which is ax squared plus 2ahx plus ah squared plus k. Okay, I'm telling you, when you multiply it out, you're going to get this. Alright, so you're going to equate it with ax squared plus 2ahx plus ah squared plus k. Right, so you're going to equate it. So meaning, what is my term in front of x squared? So the term in front of x squared is a, and what is the term in front of x squared here is 4. So a is equals to 4. Right, next one, 2a, what is the coefficient of x? That's minus 24. And the coefficient of x in here is 2ah. So 2ah is equals to negative 24. We know a is 4, so that's 2 by 4 h is equals to negative 24. So that is 4 to the 8. 8h is equals to negative 24. So h would be negative 24 divided by h, which is h is equals to negative 3. Did we get that here? Yes, we did. And then this one here, ah squared plus k. These have no x's. What have no x's in your equation, your quadratic equation? That is equals to 31. We know a is 4, so that's 4 open bracket minus 3 squared plus k is equals to 31. That is 4 by 3 3s are 9. So 4 9s are, what is 4 9s? 4 9s are 36. 36 plus k is equals to 31. So k is equals to 31 minus 36. So k is equals to minus 5. So therefore, we can say, let's put the answer in blue, that 4x squared minus 24x plus 31 is equal to 4 open bracket x minus 3 squared minus 5. Alright, and that would be your answer for B part 1. Right, part 2. On the axis below, sketch the graph, the quadratic equation, 4x squared minus 24x minus plus 31. Indicate the coordinates of the maximum and minimum point and the y-intercept. First off, right, your when you are sketching a graph, there are a few things that you have to recognize. The first thing you have to recognize is if a is positive or if a is negative. A is positive 4. So therefore, my graph is going to look like a smiley face. Alright? Because A is positive, my graph is going to be a smiley face. So we know the graph is going to look something like this. The next thing you're going to check out is, because we are using this, my turning point, T-U-R-N, turning point is equals to minus h, which is my axis. H is my axis of symmetry. Minus h is my axis of symmetry. And k, which is my maximum or minimum point. So my turning point is equal to minus 3, and k, which is minus 5. So my turning point is 3 minus 5. Right? The next thing that you have to recognize is, well, the axis for the indicate the coordinates of the maximum point, maximum or minimum point. It will not have a maximum point because A is positive. There's a minimum point of, the minimum point is also known as the turning point, is 3 minus 5. And then the y-intercept. Y-intercept, we already know that your y-intercept, right, your y-intercept is where your graph is going to cut your y-axis. Right, and on your y-axis, x is equals to 0. So your y-intercept is, you're going to substitute x is equals to 0 in the quadratic, which is 4x squared minus 24x plus 31, which is 4 by 0 squared minus 24 by 0 plus 31. So we know that my y-intercept, or y, is equals to 31 when x is equals to 0. So this is the few things that they said they wanted. Alright, so again, y is equals to 31. So I'm just going to put 31 somewhere on top here. Remember, it's a sketch, you don't have to make it, you know. It doesn't have to be 100% on scale, right? Your turning point is 3 minus 5. Y is equals to minus 5. So minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. X is equals to 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So my turning point, and you can use I'll remove it afterwards, right, is, you know what, let's use this. Hold on, No, what is that? I take off this ruler. You're going to view it at right, so what you're going to do is you are going to have a ruler, right? Obviously I don't have a ruler that is on here. You're going to take a shape, put it at 5, right? Let's say that's 5. I don't want to take too long doing this, right? And then you're going to go down at 3. So where x is equals to 5, sorry, where y is equals to 5 and x is equals to 3 would be my turning point. Yes. Alright, so my turning point is going to be, let's use a red, it's going to be somewhere around here. Right, so my, let's go up. This is, well, when you are doing it, exactly, you have your pencil, right, and you can do this very seamlessly in comparison to me. All right, so the graph's supposed to look something like this. Please, not as jaggedy as I put it, or not as smooth. Your line's supposed to be a smooth curve, right? It's just because I'm doing it on the laptop, it's looking like that. Okay, now they said state the equation for the axis of symmetry. Again, I told you guys that your axis of symmetry, and I said it here, is minus h. So this is why it is 1 mark. My axis of symmetry I'll just erase this and write it back properly. My axis, AXIS, of symmetry, my axis of symmetry is equal to x is equal to negative h. So x would be equal to negative, what is h? H was negative 3, I believe. Negative 3. So my axis of symmetry, x is equals to 3. Now, this is one way. There are some times that you did not completely square. So my axis of symmetry. So let's just say you did not complete your square. Right? My axis of symmetry Right, so my axis of symmetry is equal to minus b over 2a. Alright, what is b and a? A is my coefficient of x squared in my, this here, my quadratic. This right here. So a is equals to 4 and b is equals to negative 24. So I know that this would be equals to negative 24 all over 2, minus 24, because remember it's negative b, right? So it's going to be negative, and b is already negative, so minus 24 over 2a, which is 2 by 4, which would be a minus and minus a plus. So it's 24 over 4 2s are 8, which is equals to 3. So my axis of symmetry is x is equals to minus b over 2a, and we can see that you still get the same answer of x is equals to positive 3. And that is how you would do January 2024, number 8.